And we're back again. We're gonna start with this car. It's been a while since I put out a video. So I'm gonna update you on this car because a lot of moving parts and pieces, and I'm gonna have to kind of thread all this together. So I'm shooting this video way down the road and I'm gonna back you up to a start point. So last time you seen this car, it was at Monash 2022. Ran it out there, it was unported, had a 276 upper that made 11 pounds on a stock blower, and we threw together like a little spare parts, like wet kit, just to go out there and just somewhat be competitive, have fun. The goal, get nines. We went out, walked away with a 999 at 140. Really impressive. Had a 134 60 foot because we couldn't tune it, so the tune was really hot in it. So, well, now it's got a standalone. It's got a Holley Terminator X. The nitrous system has been updated. I myself have ported the blower and I hogged it all out. So I will have some videos and clips I'm gonna fade in here, and I will show you some pictures of the nitrous system we have. What is the nitrous system? Well, long story short, I messed up the lower intake. When I pulled it apart, I noticed that from where I was trying to port it and whatnot, my own fault, I poured it a little too far and the gasket just wasn't matching up and it was pushing the O-rings out of it. So what I ended up doing, going out, trying to find another one. Tried to find another one and got a guy messaging me who I've known for a little while, and he says, hey, I got this lower intake that I'm gonna sell that's got spray bars already installed in it, which is what I planned on doing way down the road anyway. I just didn't plan on doing it this soon. So forward to like January 2023, shortly after Monash, I made the deal with the guy and I bought it. So I ended up getting a lower intake that was set up for a wet kit. So it had 2 spray bars on each bank. So one for fuel, one for nitrous. Well, they're both nitrous now. So I ended up taking it, make 2 dry kits out of it. And the reason I did a dry kit is because every runner is gonna have the same amount of nitrous and the same amount of fuel because the injector is sitting right above it. I have a lot of fuel system in this car now. I've got 4 Innovations hats, lines all the way up to the railings. It's got a 4 Innovations regulator. And then I have I had Bosch 210s that I ended up buying this. They're like $550, but they work really good with the Holley, and that's a lot of fuel, way more than I'm ever gonna use. But I got enough fuel if I need it because I'm about to spray a lot on here. How much do I have on here? Well, at the time, in SCT, which would be the next video out, I ended up spraying 250 shots on each rail. Why did I do 250 shots? We didn't know, because when we looked at the chart on Nitrous Outlet, it said that you needed 35 jet to be a 100 shot. We just didn't know that a 35 jet had to be for each bank. We just threw a 35 jet in the lower solenoid. It's our fault, but we went out there and ran it anyways. Ran a number, we got down in the nines again, had a lot of fun with it. So got a ported blower, got a fuel system, got a standalone, and now we got a dry kit. But as you can see, I've got quite a few stickers over it, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I've also updated the cooling system on it. So I got rid of the 5-gallon tank. I put a 2.5 gallon in there. I think it's a J2 Fab tank that I put in there. I mounted it in the back, the pump's underneath the car. I just did a whole bunch of like little tidy up stuff, things that I didn't really need 5 gallons. I mean, I make them one pass, so I'm not gonna use 5 gallons of fluid in one pass. So I ended up getting a Davis Craig 150 pump, flows nice, still got the stock intercooler brick and whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you a few clips of what I've done to the car since I've had it. Just a few little upgrades that I had done myself, like porting the blower and the fuel system and all that kind of stuff. So we threw all that together. Had a lot of help from Zach and Heath, to help me out with the car, and Zach can help me wire this thing up and try to get it right. So because I'm not that smart as far as wiring is concerned, I know enough to get in trouble. So I'm gonna fade in some clips and let y'all see what we got going on. Okay, it's cold outside and I'm double hoodied up. It's raining. and we are going to port a blower today. This is the blower that I went 9s with, and it is unported, and it was top pulley only on a 140 pill. This is the throttle body. This is the only piece that I actually had ported, and I even messed it up a little bit and I had to fix it with some putty and some whatnot, actually some JB Weld. But that is getting upgraded. Let me show you what we're working with. So as you can see, this is unported, and those are the stock rotors in there. You can see they got a little bit of wear on them because the Sunoco 110 that we were pushing through it tends to eat the Teflon coating. Methanol does the same thing, but you see how close the tolerances are. But what we're going to end up doing is this hump right here. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to start shaping the back wall so it's more fluid of airflow. This corner, I'm going to start wrapping it a little bit tighter to get some air to the inner rotor. And I'm going to take this apart and show you what you're looking at on the inside. But before I do that, here's this broke relic that I went 9s with. So this is the stock throttle body. As you can see, it's a stock elbow, unported as well. I had plans to port it, which I had this corner welded up. There's a little divot there, as you can see, and I was going to weld on the outside and then cut it out from the inside, which is what you're supposed to do. This is for the wet kit that I had in there, so we had it tapped on the back side. But this is old news. This is the creme de la creme. This is a Dragon Plenum. A lot of you OG, old school guys who had Cobras way before I had a driver's license know what this is. So this is what the stock one looks like. And there's the comparison. You can see a lot more airflow. And if you turn it around, look at that. A lot of airflow. So that'll help this baby breathe right here. Here's another Dragon Plenum that I got. No, you can't have it. But you can see how big it is. It is 130 mils on the throttle body side, which is like that of a Whipple. This is 130 millimeters, and I think these are twin 57s if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think they're twin 57s. And you can see where, when I originally ported it, I cut it too thin and then cut into the IX. So I puttied it up, reshaped it, same thing down here. Guess what? It worked. So don't judge me. But I'm not going to bore you with all this time lapse of how long it takes to port one, because it's going to take me a few days. But I'm just going to skim through it. Okay, so I got this blower taken apart, cleaned it off a little bit. As you see, it is unported. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, let it breathe some more. I shoved some shop towels in the bearings so don't get any shavings in there. Also, this shelf right here, if I can do it with a Sharpie, this shelf right here, it needs to be brought down about halfway with this bearing. Anyways, and basically this whole chunk right here, we're going to take out. You can look up old photos on forums and whatnot, and you can see what I'm talking about. So it's to help get some air to that inner rotor right there, because this back wall tends to leak around all the way to the outside rotor, which gets fed a little bit more. So when I flip it over, I know it's dirty, so I want to brake clean on it. This hump right here, the back wall, this will be gone. I gotta take it and work it a little bit at a time, trying to get it to go away. I'm gonna shape that back wall a little bit. So, and then I'm gonna smooth, actually I'm gonna take my bit and try to chop some of that meat off right there. Also, See, you have, this is the size of the stock inlet. So you see how big it is? This is the size of the inlet I'm about to put on. A lot more air, and it'll help feed that inside rotor some, because I gotta take out all this meat right here. So I gotta port match it, and it's gonna take me quite a while to do it, but you know, steady as she goes.